The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
Oh. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 921. Tuesdays, we've been talking professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We got a hell of a crew with us today. First, let's go remote. Let's go out there. To the Riz is with us on the line.
It's me.
Hi.
I made it back.
It's Riz. It's Riz.
It's also just want to.
Oh no.
Want to point this out for
no.
Some of the people in there. Not you. Not our guest, but you know, our Mayhem guests of honor over in the studio.
There's faces being made if you're on audio right now.
Yes.
Riz has the 24/7 championship.
The
10 pounds of foam.
The 10 pounds of foam from the
from the Mayhem Fantasy Football.
Mayhem Fantasy Football.
Thank you, Jordan Love, for that. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jordan Love. Your check's in the mail.
There you go. There you go. You're
Jordan Love doesn't need your goddamn money anymore, Riz.
No,
the Packers are paying him now.
That's right. Matt Carlins is with us as well to bring all of his football angst that I don't understand.
I don't have any angst.
No?
After I win the Wrestling Mayhem Show Fantasy Football League again this season,
and bring back
that
home.
will be 4 championships in 5 years, and that is still a dynasty, even though Riz ruined my 4-peat.
What? I can't hear you.
I can't hear you through the foam.
Can't hear you through the phone.
And then Mason Mania is with us as well.
It's very heavy too. It's
Yeet. Yeet. Oh, he's got the shirt. There you go. And then also munching our sponsor pizza is the Rev Ron Hunt.
Hello.
Carb loading for
Good
Rough
evening.
and Rowdy this Friday night on pay-per-view. Look at is this how you combat the Burger Boy? There you go. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about your prep. I know we got a little heads up on some of that from our boy Victor Benjamin last week, so I like that. So, but anyways, thank you for joining us. This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We like to talk some wrestling, and then at least a few of us here in this room actually attended SummerSlam. We had to go into enemy territory to Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Boo.
Which, guys, I encountered Chomps, the mascot of the Cleveland Browns. I felt very awkward.
Did you give him a wedgie?
No. Chomps is the mascot. It's the
I
dog
thought their
thing.
mascot was like a little brown elf.
What?
I thought it was
well,
dirty toilet paper. But what do I know?
I made sure to I took a picture with the big bobbleheads of like Bernie Kosar and stuff outside, and it sent it to Chachi, who's a Browns fan, and my sister, who is very not. So, and the two of them have a feud over it. I think there's an ongoing bet that has Chachi in the deep negatives for the Browns Steelers games over the last couple of decades.
Already?
Does he just keep doubling down?
I think he does. I think he's doing that thing.
He's
Yeah.
in deep.
Going
then.
from back in the day when we used to all work at the country club. Yeah.
You should just wear the Yinza shirt, Sorg.
Oh, I should have. Yeah, I don't. There was some Steelers jerseys. I saw that. I saw a little bit of Pittsburgh representing there. So outwardly. So yeah, but no, it was a good time. It was interesting. One, that was a nice stadium. They don't believe if we what? Wait. I don't know. What are you judging? What's that? Let's
Mason, was it a nice stadium?
It's not that bad, though.
No, it's not that bad. I noted a little bit of rust on the infrastructure.
Oh,
of the
there's some
stadium.
major
There
rust
was some
on the
rust.
No, there was a lot of rust on the edge of that one section. Yes.
Yeah,
So-
like I thought our stadium was dumpy, but like this
Yeah, I was
one
gonna
is like
say our
So
stadium.
do
isn't
you
up
mean
there.
to tell me that the Cleveland Browns Stadium is like the NFL version stadium of the Jackrabbit?
Oh, you even like a racer.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
like
racer.
propped up with a cinder block.
I was thinking about going to Kennywood, and then I saw the cinder block picture. And I'm like, yeah, I'm staying home.
It wasn't a load-bearing beam, Sorg. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it's
you
they
never be too
fixed it.
careful.
It's fine.
They very much indie wrestling that.
Very much.
And I've seen a couple of wrestling rings like that.
Many a wrestling ring has been propped up in the same way and has never gone wrong, right?
Yeah. You've seen like wrestling rings propped up on cinder blocks, like kind of thing, or.
Oh, I've seen it, and the company that should not be mentioned, I quickly made my exit and never returned ever since.
There you go. I'm like, this is not okay.
Not saying don't do it at Kennywood. I love Kennywood. I'm just talking directly about the wrestling company.
Yeah, for real.
Crap.
Yeah, I mean the stadium was fine.
It was not a pain. Okay, it was.
I found the concessions a little disappointing, if I'm being honest here.
Yes.
Mason didn't like.
Who gives you only
Talking to the microphone.
only
don't talk
one
to me.
bit of cheese for the nachos? What the hell?
I
is
didn't have the
happening there?
nachos. I just got a hot dog. I was pleased that there was stadium mustard. That's always a nice little surprise.
Was it Heinz?
There was
No, it was like the baseball stadium mustard. It was the good stuff.
Okay.
The stuff that's like you got like Heinz, and then like you've got the baseball
Like
stadium
ultra
mustard. It's like
bright
above
yellow.
Heinz, a tier up. Yeah.
Tina's out there saying her stadium's better. Out
I
there
mean,
in Seattle.
probably.
It
Yeah,
really is.
I mean,
Like I've only seen like videos of it, and like I haven't been there, but the Seahawks Stadium is nice.
is that the one with the roof that moves in?
Oh, you're
Like,
thinking
or
of
is
the
that
baseball stadium,
Like,
but
I
yes,
saw
that
that
one's
thing.
also
Say-
nice.
That mechanism, that's a whole other building. That's like, it's ridiculous. What they've done there. It's not just like a roof that retracts over. It's just like the giantest of tracks that rolls over that. It's Seattle's something else.
It's there because it rains a lot.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
honest.
What's that?
He's honest right now.
He's honest right now.
I keep it 100, son.
Anyways, the show itself, I know, Riz, you hosted the SummerSlam party here at the studio while we were away. We were there in person, and there was a bit of a street fair. Apparently, we were a mere block away from seeing AEW wrestling. I came in the wrong way, apparently. It sounded like there was a lot of fun over there. So we all got hopped up on C4s and Prime Energy drinks outside. That's how you get. That's why the crowds have been so.
There
hyped
were
lately.
That
they were
sounds
handing
about
out
right.
free samples of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's new seltzer or whatever,
Yeah,
the gin and juice. I had one of those. It was quite tasty.
Okay.
Could have gone for a
Really?
few more of those. Yeah, but it was like Sorg, was it like that at WrestleMania?
I've not seen that at WrestleMania, but
Was
Detroit.
did it
Detroit's-
have that kind of like the commerce outside? like the
Detroit
tents?
SummerSlam had that.
Okay.
Where they had like a street fair and they brought all the cars out and everything. But it was
it was kind of like it had like a NASCAR race vibe, or like you're outside the track. Now, obviously, they have like a ton of more stuff. If you go
Sure.
to the NASCAR race, they
Now-
have tons of stuff. But this that was the same kind of thing. I was very pleased to find that there was like just stuff to kind of like wander through on the outside of the stadium. That was nice.
Now WrestleMania has had similar because they had their pre-show stage and everything. But we were talking about it was inside the stadium, not inside, but like in the concourse after the ticketing. But I think that stadium had room for it. Cleveland Brown Stadium did not have that space to do that in.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a legend.
There was barely room for us.
Dallas, yeah, right. Dallas was kind of like out on the one lawn area, before ticketing and things. And we did not see it. And we came in the other side of SoFi Stadium. We didn't see any of the festivities because we parked up at the Kia Forum and walked down. And I think the main entrance was on the other end of it. So like we walked in behind the stage. On our side, so that
You had
it's gonna be
VIP
different.
access.
No, it was you bust your shit behind the stage access. It was what that was. It was like,
Did you go inside the store, Sorg?
No, I've never gone inside the store.
Ever?
Not the one that they have there, not the Superstore one that they set up. I've tried. I wanted to go to a couple times and just like schedule didn't work out or anything like that. So, and also I don't want to spend so much money on $40 t-shirts.
Very true. Very
yeah.
true.
So unless I really want the I was there shirt, like I've actually been just putting stuff in the cart and
I
waiting
was
for
there
sales.
like I went determined to buy something because it was like it's
Yeah.
around my birthday, and I was kind of like, I'm gonna find something I want, and I'm gonna get something. I didn't really find anything that really caught my eye. I was very close though to buying the Jacob Fatu T-shirt because it was pretty cool looking. But
I didn't see it,
in the
yeah.
end,
I would've
I
got
just
it.
couldn't quite do it. What?
Yeah.
How close? Like that?
That close? That close?
that
little
close.
Bit, little bit. Okay.
Well, he
That
did
close,
buy
you know.
something for his birthday. He
I
bought
know.
the glizzy.
Yeah. Well, you got this
Mhm.
shirt, right?
Yeet.
And that's a wraparound yeet.
Yeah. I mean, this is a nice shirt. Look how cool
Well,
this
is nice.
How much Yeet merch did you see at this show? So much Yeet.
With no yeet.
There was so much Yeet.
Yeet
Yes.
with no
Yes.
yeet.
Everywhere I looked, people were wearing Yeet.
But
Yeet,
there was
yeet,
no Jey Uso
Yeet. No, we never saw
on
him.
this show. I have a theory, though.
And it's not Austin.
During that main, during that main, we are not a town down. During that main event, when we had the Guestapalooza, because Bloodline Rules just means everybody shows up at the end now,
Yeah.
right? Like that's like it's like a cameo match at
Yeah.
this point, right? Like at one point everybody's running out, and I just said, and next is the Undertaker because somebody else didn't show up, right? So
Yeah.
we know he's in town. He's
Yeah.
doing one dead man show or whatever. Also, everybody has a stand-up show now. Have you noticed that? Sami Zayn
That
had
sounds
one.
about, yeah.
Damian Priest had some kind of show. You
I think it
know.
might be a thing
It's
now.
interesting. It's interesting. But also, like, they're taking a lot of that room out of the, well, if all these independents and everything are going to do all these in Colt Cabana and RJ City, well, we're going to fill that space with our stuff,
Yeah.
which they let everybody else prove the market for it, and then they're going to
So
provide their own
would
thing.
you say, I mean, you would not be old enough for this, but would you say now the stand-up connection with the superstars in WWE would be similar to how the Disney Channel stars, like all of them just had albums and were singing and rapping?
Yeah. Everybody got these spin-off things. Everybody
Yeah.
gets to explore their creativity, whether it be a Twitch channel or something like that. Back to my theory. So we had everybody coming out. We had Samoans coming out of the crowd. We had
Those
Randy
were
Orton's
Tongans,
and
Sorg.
Kevin
Tongans.
Owens.
That was Tongans.
Tongans? I'm sorry. Tongans.
That's okay. Uncle Paul doesn't know the difference either.
Oh, good. Okay. So we got the bloodline coming in. We got all the interruptions. I have a suspicion that when Jacob Fatu got obviously injured, somebody was supposed. No, not that one. Not that one. The one. No, this one. That one. The other one. Yeet. I think that's when you're supposed to see Yeet. I think we canceled. I
Yeah.
think
They
I think
called
we
an
can-
audible and they
Yep.
canceled the Yeet.
I think the Yeet was canceled.
That's
But-
a real shame because
Yeah.
literally a quarter of that stadium was wearing Jey
Yeah, they
Uso
very
gear.
was.
They
It
were- they were-
definitely
they were the
was.
Blues.
I was like, why do they? Sometimes I'm like, why do they push Jey Uso? I'm never gonna question it again. now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this dude's just moving merch
Dude,
now
like
you
crazy.
know.
That
So
last
much
year
merch.
in Detroit was the first time he started doing the waving the hands thing and had the whole crowd thing. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in a
You,
wrestling
the
show.
energy
That's what
you can
I
feel
wanted
after
to
the
see
TV.
it. I wanted to see that too.
Yeah. Oh man.
And they took it away from us.
I feel like that is one of the biggest, for those that like follow independent wrestling, like one of the biggest indie wrestling vibes that WWE is producing. Just to see that and they pulled that wide shot out in that whole arena.
And seeing that like in a freaking Ford Field or WrestleMania is just so incredible. Like you have like tens of thousands of people doing this thing. I mean, it's just like the. We talk about like I think the greatest thing that WWE took from AEW was the fan interaction, right, and that level and the sing along and all those kinds of things and leaning into that the way they do. And Cody brought with them, like let's be honest about it, and that is like up there on one of those. Hey, we used to sing along to Nakamura's song, and that was cute, right? But now it's become this whole thing.
It's been the whole
And
thing.
and they're just rolling with it, and the yeet and everything, and the yeet of it all, if you will. So
oh, the yeetness.
the yeetness
So much
of it.
yeeting.
Yeetness.
Yeetalicious.
Oh,
So
just
either
yeet
way-
all over the place.
Either way, and now Mason, you can put the finger up.
Hey, shut up.
Roman is back. Daddy's home.
So
And I'm not daddy.
Nia was the tribal chief in our section for an hour and a half.
What? Nia was the tribal
There was
chief?
a guy in our section, and like he would just kept, for some reason he decided he was Team Nia during this match.
Oh, I'm so
and
sorry.
The guys further back, get up, those guys.
Yeah.
They're like,
You're talking about this
they're-
been before the show.
Oh,
They're
wait
like,
until
you
this during
real,
the show?
Real
Don't worry,
quick,
we'll get back to it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna randomly start doing it. You're just gonna deal with it. Anyway, he's like over there. He was wearing a referee shirt.
Yes.
He had a WWE referee shirt on.
Yes.
This dude, what a guy! And he's just like, he's like just got his one in the air, and he's like, Naya's my tribal chief now. Naya's my tribal chief until Roman comes back, and then Roman's not my tribal chief again. But Naya's my tribal chief for now.
How short-lived that ended up being.
I mean, he was
so,
honest about it.
yeah.
He told us exactly how it was going to play out.
So, a really good night. It was the night of the implosion of the Judgment Day. Man, just both those instances. You know, Damian look at the screen. You know, and the stuff with Liv and everything. It was that was probably the hottest stuff of the night.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. Oh, Mason, are you heartbroken now?
Wow.
Oh,
Are you heartbroken that Dom's heart, Dom turned on Rhea, mommy?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love. There's the TikTok from the press conference where somebody was like, you know, isn't it good to be Dom right now? And Triple H is like, I don't think it's good to be Dom right now. He's got an ass beating coming his way from a lot of people at this moment. so, mhm.
It's just
like,
fun.
I think I've been hanging out with you long enough, Sorg,
Mm-hmm.
that when I was watching the feed, when Gunther had the sleeper hold in, I wanted the camera to turn so like the eyes are locked in on Finn.
You went
Some
okay,
so, but still, it was an amazing.
and they did
shot.
turn it around. They did turn it around, and
did.
he was over the shoulder.
He was, but he was on the other side.
And notice they did the same shot. They did relatively the same shot. Because I presume it came off a lot better because we're sitting there. We saw that last thing with Dom. And then, like, there was a shot on the big screen of just him with that little bit of a smile. And we're like,
Oh, right after that match. That's when everyone was like,
everybody's
oh.
like, oh, no,
He had
it's
he had-
happening.
Yeah,
It was
Dom
going-
had
Yeah.
plausible
Yeah.
deniability all the way up until the point where they caught him on camera smirking right after the
Yes.
match. Then the whole
Yeah.
stadium's like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I mean, it was like, they didn't even need to start making out in the aisleway. Everybody knew
Bro,
at
as
that
soon
point.
as soon as
yeah.
the smirk, I was like,
No.
There it is.
Is
Yeah,
it safe
there
to
it
say
was.
that he was lying, cheating, and stealing?
He was taken after his true dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's basically cosplaying Eddie now. So I mean, like, I
He
don't know.
really
I'm
is.
like,
So did
like,
you,
like,
That
like
is
my wife
true.
was like, "Do you think Dominic's gonna turn on Rhea?" I'm like, "Have you seen that mullet? Do you see how long that mullet is?
you
He is
don't-
absolutely
listen,
turning on her."
You don't mullet and mustache with no reason.
No, there's a reason. It's
There's
a
always a
warning.
reason.
If you aren't picking up on these signals, if you're not picking up what I'm laying out here for you, then it's
Like,
on
as
you.
soon as I see a mullet, I'm like, can't be trusted.
Yeah. And the mullet and the stash. Double
And the
trouble.
stash combination, like, no, it's better that you have like bottleneck glasses on and some New Balances.
You're right. Right.
New Balances. Damn, I got to go home and throw some shoes away.
That's
Sorg.
the
I gotta
real-
tell you this.
No, listen, they're coming back, man. I'm not gonna lie, I got
not enough
Oh,
for me to wear them yet, though. It's gonna be another 4 or 5 years before I can start wearing them again. But yeah.
I don't know if you all saw, but they were starting to develop T-shirts that had the kid picture of Dominic when he was doing the Eddie and Ray angle, and then it had a picture of Liv, and it had a picture of Rhea, and it said it was a Dominic custody battle.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like I've seen
It's either-
everybody from Rey Mysterio to like maybe like Rhea herself in interviews referencing the ladder match. There was actually, because I feel like one of you guys were watching this or something. There is the Ultimate SummerSlam thing that they do the fantasy booking, right? We were waiting to go, and I was flipping through while Missy was getting ready, and I just threw it on YouTube while I was doing my social work and social media work. Let me clarify that. But anyways, so like Rhea is part of the panel and books her versus who did she take
China.
on? China
Her versus China.
with Eddie Guerrero and Dom in the corners.
Mm-hmm.
So like she knows what's going on, right?
Yeah,
So,
that would be
but
pretty
I
good.
love how many times that has come up just amongst them
Yeah.
in interviews. So it's like if it doesn't,
I mean,
become
it's the longest running storyline in possibly pro wrestling history.
possibly. Yes, actually,
Yeah.
yes. I just that and Who Killed WCW. I finally tried watching it, I wasn't paying attention, and I watched the last episode first, and I was like,
perfect.
I'm like, this is a weird way to start this series, and I'm like, oh shit, this is episode.
And you're
4.
like, oh damn, now I know.
Now I
wow.
know, I'm doing it.
And then stop. All right, I'll just go back. I think they. All right, even if they do, they're either going to do a ladder match for custody of Dominic between Rhea or Liv, or the ladder match will be the friendship bracelet on a ladder match with Drew and Punk for the tiny little bracelet hanging above the ring.
I
would
that.
like just for the visual of the most tiny object hanging above the ring as they both fight and they
That
struggle
is
for
actually
it.
pretty.
So I mean,
hilarious.
pretty good.
well, I think I brought up at the end of the night. Oh no, I think Missy was asking me in the car what my favorite match was, and I said, story wise, it was the Drew and Seth and Punk thing, right? Like that was like everything had
And
moments,
the
but like
crowd was locked in from beginning to end.
and that was a story. It was less wrestling match than the story, right? And I love that I got on social media and they showed that that one spot was an homage to the Brett Taker special guest referee Sean,
Yeah,
and
they
also
also mentioned that a lot on the commentary.
oh,
too.
did they?
They kept saying, "Oh, this is like SummerSlam '97."
And then it completely was, right?
Yeah,
So
it was.
They're like, elbow, hey, get it, get it, get it, get it.
Look
Here,
at
let me
Punk's tights,
let me
get it?
telegraph this some more.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Punk's tights are pink and black, just like Bret Hart in 1997.
Oh my gosh!
exactly.
Yeah.
It was and also I had a revelation with that too, because you know what American Side pay-per-view is coming back next month? Bad Blood. Am I mistaken to say that?
No, you're not.
Is
You're
that
not
the
mistaken.
first Hell in a Cell
You're
which
right.
came out of? And
Yes.
considering how bad, I think we ended up with a 3-way Hell in a Cell
Oh my.
with Seth, Drew, and Punk
All right,
with
well,
the friendship bracelet hanging from the cage.
hanging from the top of the cage. That's perfect.
bring it
Ladder
around.
match and Hell in a Cell match at the same time. That's actually a great idea, Sorg. Book that. Let's try to. I was a little less enthusiastic about the Drew and Punk match in the arena. I thought Seth was a very unnecessary part of the match. All I wanted was just like Drew and Punk beating the crap out of each other.
Which he did
But
happen.
instead, it seemed like the focus of the match turned into who is Seth gonna screw and who is Seth being wacky and Seth just being a goofball. And I really felt like I wasn't really there for that. I just wanted to see some violence because the feud had been built for so long between Drew and Punk. I think I might have been a little bit more satisfied. Now, I did go back and I watched the actual broadcast version, and that played better because, they're talking to each other, blah, 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 blah. And I can't hear them because I'm, about 75 yards away, up in the stand.
Said,
So
"Speak up!"
they weren't playing it for. It probably would have played better in an arena, actually, the way they were doing it. I mean, yeah, I was a little bit underwhelmed sitting there live. But I'll tell you what my favorite match of the night was. Then, since you asked me, thanks a lot, Sorg. My favorite match of the night was definitely LA Knight versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. And that crowd, they were rocking for that match. They hate Logan Paul. Real hate.
Yeah. There's like more reasons just this week to hate Logan
Yeah,
Paul.
I know.
So
He just
that I
keeps
won't
coming
get
up
into.
with good reasons
But
to just be an
it's just like,
incredible person to hate.
No, hey, just go ahead and drop him on his head. That's fine. Which I think he did actually.
Oh my God, I gasped from my seat in the upper deck. Even that was scary. Yeah.
Yeah, there
very
was some
scary.
some scoop. Yeah, some wild stuff there. But and he's got his menagerie at ringside of the worst DLC characters in WWE 2K. So until Pat McAfee had a pack drop last week. So I loaded it up and I'm like, who's this bionic jive guy that's in my faction right now? What the hell is happening to my cards? But anyways, okay.
You're like, I didn't accidentally download this creative.
Well, there was one.
Where did this come from?
When you buy the pack and the bundle, they're like, hey, you have this and this. And one of them, I think, was Pat McAfee and a bunch of question marks, right? And I'm like, oh, they'll fill in the wrestlers, maybe somebody that's
Nope.
debuting later. Like, no, just his buddies from the damn show.
Yeah.
And you're like, Well, I'm
hilarious.
glad I paid for this,
Well,
man.
thank
one
you
of them
so
is
Thank
much.
you so much. This was a gift for me. So, anyways, so much more to talk about with Mania. With I do want to talk about later in the show that little camera ref earpiece thing.
Oh, yeah.
I
Because
loved
everybody was already messaging me during the show about when we were going to do it at IndieWrestling.us.
That was everybody.
Who sent me the device at Walmart?
I did.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh my!
You know what?
God.
I love you already, and let me just put this on the record. If you do that, I want to do the wrestling version of it.
Okay, you want to wear it during the match?
I definitely want to wear it during the match.
I want to know if you can get it and give it to the ringside camera people, because then I won't have to do anything. All I have to do is just stand there and look at the.
So then, like, but I'm used to stealing your camera at RWA.
No,
Hold on, we're
no,
not
he
talking
can't
about
have
it
my
yet. We're
camera.
not in that
All
segment
right.
yet. But anyways, thank you everybody that's following the show. Thank you everybody that is supporting the show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys get, of course, you do get the we do a Patreon thing, although I may have muted the feed during the first part of the Patreon only feed, but you get to look at us, I guess. And then you do get live as we record the Patreon recording for the evening as well, and you get those clips and anything else we can throw at you there throughout the week. And thank you to everybody that does support the show over there at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Team Hammerfist, the Tupac family, Megan Nelson, Bubba Brewer, and Jason French. And at the Poppy Club level, Dave Prop Partner, spouse of Ruth Julia Fair at RuthJuliaFair.com, and Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. At the Pizza Club level, The Riz, and at the manager level, Bradley and Tina Keys. Back on the manager level. That means I need to go to Tina's house and explore her wrestling t-shirt collection next. So, Rev, did you watch the Bradley video by chance?
I did not, but I want to.
You do have a t-shirt in there, at least one t-shirt in there.
That is
In his
how long
closet?
is that video?
Not the
Sorg?
notorious closet.
Mm-hmm.
What?
His closet.
Is notorious?
Yes.
Why?
We'll talk about it later.
Is that for the Patreon?
That's for the Patreon.
Why? About his...
Bradley's closet.
About when Bradley talked me into coming to his room to show me his closet?
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, Rev, you play a little bit of Call of Duty, right? Are you
Yes, I
playing
do.
like some of the recent stuff? You got Modern Warfare 3 and stuff, or
It's on the way because I'm a slow one, and I'm the type of guy that I will wait and let them get all the kinks out. And so I will go to everyone else's house and play it.
Yeah.
And then I'll wait like a month and a half, 2 months, and I'm like, all right.
well, you might want
But
to
I
hurry
have
up.
dabbled.
The new one comes out in like 2 months.
Then you show up online. You're like, I'm here. Kill me now.
Yeah,
I'm right
yeah.
here.
So I played back when I started. It was the original Modern Warfare 3, and we were playing online with a lot of friends. And Bobby of J-Town, Mikey and Bob from Kiss FM and stuff, right? Since we knew him from Yin's team. And it was a lot of fun, and then it kind of wavered, and about Ghost I fell off, right? Because I think a lot of people fell off for Ghost, and I just never got back into it. Well, Modern Warfare 3 and the new one are on Game Pass. The new one coming out, of course, day and date. So I'm like, well, let's see if I still got it. I still suck. But not
So
as
your
not
KD
as-
wasn't that good,
but like I'm not doing terrible. I'm not like the worst person in there or anything like that. I'm definitely getting slaughtered, right? But I'm like handling my shit, right? And it feels just like it did
Yeah.
on the
That's my
Xbox
biggest
360,
fear, yeah.
man. It feels right. There's barely anything new. Like I don't remember how. Actually, I don't think I've been playing good enough to get any of the loadouts to drop like drones and stuff like that. But like and the slide I think was just becoming a thing when I dropped off. And you got Warzone, which is just Fortnite without building shit. And
That's a perfect.
which is like the annoying part of Fortnite. But anyways, actually a lot of Fortnite's annoying right now. I tried loading that up again and it was like, oh, don't know what this is. Anyways, so as part of that, I was exploring, and of course it's being advertised. We saw ads for it. And of course, WWE is now a part of Call of Duty. Okay, Rhea Ripley is a downloadable character. You have Cody Rhodes in there. I forgot that I don't have video connected here. You have Rey Mysterio. It's weird to what? What are you? Are you singing the theme?
Yes.
just triggers. Anyways, so it's weird to see Cody Rhodes in his gear, no shirt on, just running around with a gun. First of all, it's weird to see Rey Mysterio, fully Rey Mysterio, just running around with a rifle, right? So there's a mode here that is, I cannot remember which one it is. I think it's like COD Warrior Slam or something like that. And the idea is that you play. Okay, you remember Kill Confirmed?
Yep.
It's the one where if you kill a guy, it doesn't count until you goes for his nose. They leave tags behind. You have to go collect them, and then you confirm the kill. You down your opponent. You slam. You down your opponent, but they're not out yet. They're in that like kind of recovery mode. You have to go and perform a finishing move on them. Oh no! And then Michael Cole does some commentary.
What?
In the middle of a Call of Duty game. It's really peculiar, and they have what amounts to basically a fighting game, I think. And you're power bombing and stuff. This is really strange.
You know, it doesn't count unless I hear Jamal say, "He has a family, damn it."
There might be in there, okay? It's really kind of low-key the way they put it in there. Like, it's kind of undertoned kind of deal. But it was really strange. And then, like, nobody has the avatars. Nobody is Rhea Ripley. Nobody is Cody Rhodes in this game because nobody else bought this shit that I've been playing with on the random rooms. And so you just see, like, dudes in flakjack is just power-bombing each other. And you're just like, this is the weirdest shit you have ever seen.
I'm pretty sure this doesn't happen in war.
No, I just like, okay, I've shot you, but now I need to choke slam you to finish the job.
That is wild.
I need to give you a crossroads
to
finish the job. I can haul off and unprotected chair shot you. Okay, that one's actually a little more accurate. But
so if I shoot someone and I'm like, oh, I didn't finish the job. If I give them a Canadian destroyer on a grenade, would that do the job? He'll pop back up.
What? It's 2025.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're going to no-sell the gunshot wound.
You're going to no-sell the gunshot.
But a Cody, like, you got to protect the crossroads, okay?
Hey, I mean, we're just going to no-sell it, just like that the brass knuckle shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
He didn't get all of it, Rev.
He didn't get all of it.
Oh yeah, but so he didn't get all the rope break.
Well, here's the thought I had. Okay. All right. Do you think? All right. Now, those were not like true brass knuckles. They were on a chain around MGK's
Oh, they're
neck.
more decorative.
They were a decorative. There's like something you get at Claire's. Okay.
In Cleveland. Wow.
So, if it's jewelry on a chain, is it as effective as true only brass knuckles? That's kind of where I was on that.
Well,
it wasn't a real set of brass
I mean,
knuckles.
listen.
It was only on a chain.
Listen. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. No one ever questioned the padlock that was on John Cena's chain, saying, "Oh, it's on a chain. It must not be full legit."
Well, I mean, that was a real looking chain too. That was like
pretty massive chain.
A true chain.
That was a massive chain.
You know,
yeah.
This was like a chain you would get at Claire's that MGK was wearing.
So he was not a part of the chain gang.
So you're saying that MGK shops at Claire's?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tweet that out.
I mean, if he paid anything,
title.
if he paid any
Show
more
title.
for it, he paid too much.
MGK shops at Claire's.
Noted.
That's it.
That sounds like a show title to me.
That's a show title. No, but if it was hip hop MGK, then maybe he would have had more validation. But
So I love.
But now I'm not
going to
afraid to
put that
insult
title
him.
on there, but the show art is going to be you, Rev.
listen, hey, I would click it if that's the case. How the hell did this come about?
Why is this dude in a cowboy
No,
hat calling out
MGK.
MGK?
MGK shops at Claire's.
Anyways, so Call of Duty is weird, and so is wrestling. I love the R-Truth tweeting about how he was so happy to meet Post Malone over the weekend.
That was actually funny. Me and my boy Post gonna get in the studio.
Yep, exactly. Oh my God, the Rev is a damn treasure. All right, let's enough of that. We're gonna talk about the camera stuff here in a little bit. In the meantime, check out everything at IndieWrestling.us from this past weekend. 2PW Fahrenheit just dropped the main feed for that. Of course, you could have seen it live on there as well. The Rev was a part of that. I don't know how'd you do the other day, Rev?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about it? No.
You know. I swear, if I get spitting one more time, just bring in Carlito already. I keep getting spit in the face.
You hear that? No Haktua for Rev. Anyways.
What?
I mean, break me all the what? Patreon.
You know, someone had a sign. Sorg, someone in the crowd at the kickoff show had a sign. It said, "Let me hawk Tua."
Anyways, back to it.
One
Somebody's pointing.
Haktua,
Somebody's pointing at
three.
the thing. IndieWrestling.us, a lot going on. Thursday night fights. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up there. And what?
It just finally fully hit me.
And
Such good
APWF coming up on the feed, and we got RWA this next month. Rev, you've been doing a lot of stuff with RWA. What the fuck was that last match? What? I didn't even get to see. I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch the whole thing yet.
That
Boy,
was
I
a bunch
need
of
to.
helter skelter.
I'm getting messages that a knife was pulled on somebody. and
Oh,
all
that
this
was
stuff.
a knife, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Rev, you coulda hit me. That was dangerous.
I plead the fifth.
Everybody here was involved with that show except me.
I plead
so,
the fifth. See what happens when you miss shows?
I mean, jeez. But okay. So all that kind of stuff. You can find out what happened at IndieWrestling.us. Also, 2 new shows. I believe it's Exodus, where they crowned the first women's champion, and Neo Pro 2 involving Shane Douglas, amongst I think some other ECW stars were on that show for their anniversary show. All part of IndieWrestling.us network and the YouTube membership. Go check all that out. All right. So the Rev, listen, Rev, I've known you for a while. Well over a decade. You have done a lot of stuff. I've seen you. I've seen you do TV. I've seen you do the craziest matches, highlights, viral highlights that are out there from RWA and other promotions.
You
Like
see
you're
me
always
become
out
a maximum male model.
But yeah, there's that too. Shane Taylor Promotions. And now I saw this poster come around. In Wheeling, West Virginia, Rough and Rowdy is coming to town, and you are going to be a part of it.
Indeed. I'm going back to West Virginia. To the Mountain Mama, baby.
So, first of all, we have a special message here for you and some tips. But first, for those that don't know, because we are a pro wrestling show, we don't get into some of these other ones, but there is one time where we did talk about Rough and Rowdy before. But those that don't know, what is Rough and Rowdy?
Rough and Rowdy is hosted in West Virginia, in one of the meth capitals, where a bunch of like regulars.
Wait, are all of them in West Virginia?
Yeah, you know,
I thought
this
they were
is
in like Georgia. I thought it was in Florida or something.
They migrate over. They migrate over.
Okay.
And it's a portion of normal people and crack kids that get into fights with each other for prize money.
We should build a wall.
So this is what it is. So I reached out to them. I love their stuff. I mean, they're completely energetic. Fun fact: 2 of their biggest stars are called the Able Brothers. I went to college with them.
Oh, okay.
One of them's actually main eventing it, and the other's fighting there too.
Okay.
They're well familiar with it. And I said, "What the hell is this? This is a bunch of chaos. It's a bunch of drunk people in the crowd just screaming, having a great time. This sounds like something I need to infiltrate."
This sounds like something I need to be a part of.
I said, "It's so chaotic. I love it." And then so I reached out to him. I'm like, my whole thought process is I always just put something out there. If it happens, it happens. And I just went about my day. And literally less than 14 days before the fight, then the guy messages me. He's like, "Hey, are you still?" I'll find it. He said, "Hey, are you still available for Rough and Rowdy 25? We're trying to put you on." I'm like.
And you're like, "It's a good thing you called me 14 days
Yeah,
before the fight.
well,
if this had been only 8 days, I might not have had time for fight camp."
Jeez, I'm so glad you gave me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and his defense was, "You're wrestling this guy that's 0-0 as well. He's from Aliquippa. He doesn't look like a big deal."
He doesn't look like a. His name is Burger
His
Boy?
name is Burger Boy. He's 6'3", 225.
You could take him. Come on.
All right. Well, we had somebody on the show who also caused a little bit of a controversy at Rough and Rowdy, and you can guess it was Matt Light. And we reached out to Matt Light over the weekend when we were talking about this, and I was like, "Matt, you've done this before. You made a splash. You caused some havoc. Can you give us some give us some tips here for the Rev before he goes into it. So let's see what Matt had to say.
Pop. What's up, Rev? It is the Steel City heel, Matt Light. I'm here in Dallas right now. I just wanted to give you this quick message. Good luck to your Rough and Rowdy fight. I want to give you some advice. Number one, last longer than 18 seconds. I failed to do so. I let the moment get caught up. I forgot everything that I learned during the 6 weeks of training. But most importantly, man, have fun. The environment is electric. The crowd is rough and rowdy, and so are the opponents. Have fun. Do whatever it is to steal the show. That's what I did. Good luck. Bring home that dub for the Berg.
There you
Listen,
go.
I've been
for how many
crowned by-
weeks? How
Yeah,
many weeks?
Hey,
did
I
he
was
get to
already
prepare?
going to say. What do you say?
14 weeks.
What? But however,
Best shape of his life.
listen, we're going to get it done. Now,
You're
now,
You're piling that
now,
pizza before the show.
now, listen.
How
First
you
of
been
all,
Oh, he
prepping?
still got it. There you go.
big
Slice
shout
on
out. This is my last piece on
All
Slide.
right, it's not official the time, but we'll throw the ad up there while we're at it. You know, there you go. There you go.
There you
Top
go.
Breakfast of
athlete,
champions.
Top athlete.
And then when I win, I get a jacket and something else, and I'm throwing an after party at one of the locations.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Fueled by Slice on Broadway. But here's where I hope doesn't happen. I'm a wrestler by trade. So if he gets a couple of shots on me, what if I accidentally throw a bro kick? Like these are the things that
Like you move into listen. So my nephew was an amateur wrestler for so long, and then went to started MMA. And I know you're supposed to keep from your back. That's not a thing in MMA as much. So I hear that a lot with training, shifting from one thing to another. What happens when you drop into that other mode?
It's
And
a-
there's
it's a whole
and you're
mindset.
just like, oh shit, I got to give him a receipt.
like,
whatever.
but I promise you this. Somewhere in this fight, there will be a Superman punch. Somewhere in this fight, I've been blessed by the tribal chief
Okay.
to use at least one
There you
Superman
go.
punch.
Good. Fingers are up. There you go.
So it will happen. Other than that, I cannot give away my fight secrets, but I'm in good hands. Big shout out to Victor Benjamin. You guys make sure to visit his gym, Punch King. And listen, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down.
What if there's a moment in that fight where obviously you've been a professional wrestler for a really long time. What if just in the heat of the moment, just the training takes over and it's low blow, or it's chop block.
I've been
thumb
training.
to the eye.
I've been training way long. So it's a fun fact. If you go on Rough and Rowdy's Facebook page, my one friend I was telling you, one of the Abel brothers, he pretty much cactus jacked this guy over the top rope, and they landed on the commentator's table. So this is every bit more of wrestling than it probably is boxing by accident. Therefore, by accident, based on how a majority of my training has been for the last 12 and a half years, I might accidentally go to that place. I'm gonna try not to.
Don't go to that place.
I'm gonna try
Go to
not
that
to.
place.
But if my Randy Orton genes kick in,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have seen what happened when I go to that place.
Don't go to that place.
So if I black
pull out
out, at least you guys will get some viral videos.
Jeez.
Just don't
Yeah.
pull out a knife. It's fine.
So
No promises.
what do you know about Burger Boy?
I know that he is 6'3", 225, and you can't teach that. Other than that, he's from Aliquippa. That's literally all I know.
Can we
cannot
get
find,
some tape on this guy so we
No!
can figure him out on Mike Tyson's Punch Out? We can figure out his hell.
We don't know. He's 0-0. At least with
There
me,
is no tape.
So here's the thing. At least with me, and I'm hope his mind is what the hell am I getting into
Yeah.
when he just randomly decides to look my name up and sees all
Yeah,
this stuff.
he's looking at the fight card. He's going, the Rev, Ron Honey's bringing Jesus with him? Oh, my God.
What
am
in
I
the
gonna
world?
do?
He's gonna bring a knife. So
No,
listen.
No, Burger Boys, not Berg Boys.
Oh no, he does not claim that. But other than that, I mean, I tried to look him up. There's not even him in street fights or anything like that.
There's some promo stuff that they posted between the two of you, and he's really showing off his body there, I guess.
Yeah,
And
he
then
got some nice
you're at
tats.
least on a treadmill.
He got some nice tats, I guess.
Yeah, so it's really intriguing. So do you what other than the last 2 weeks? what boxing background do you have?
So believe it or not, I actually was unofficially training with boxing. So my dad was
Okay.
actually a boxer.
Okay. So
which is-
so you have some
there's
not,
knowledge.
You're not starting from zero. Doing
No,
this thing.
no. So that's a good thing. So a lot of that I think will kind of come back to surface. So my father boxed, and he boxed when he was in the Air Force and everything like that. Self-taught me and trained me ever since I was in elementary school all the way up. But when it came from the professional sports aspect of it, I went the pro wrestling ring route instead of the boxing ring route. But I've definitely been in the boxing ring, had my fair shares. Yeah, see, like that doesn't look like a burger boy. I don't know what this is. So, but he's gonna get knocked out. I'm gonna knock the Malibu's Most Wanted right out of him. So all I know is that we have a weigh-in this Thursday, and they said after the weigh-in I have to stay around for a brief interview, and I think that's the first that we go face to face. And yeah, God bless his soul. I hope they give me a time limit for this interview. So.
Hey, what is it? It's 3 rounds, 1 minute each, right?
It's 3 rounds, 1 minute each with a 1 minute break.
With a 1 minute break for each one.
With a
Okay.
1 minute break. So I did cut a promo for him, and I closed it at Checkers, where it said pick any two. So I did tell him, listen, the choice is yours. Pick any 2 knockdowns you want in the first, or second, or the third round. Then after I laid the promo and I sent it to them, and then after it was already shared, I said, damn it, why did I say it? So I really have to knock him down at least twice. I put the pressure on myself. So
you're calling your shot.
So therefore, a bro kick may happen. If I get in that third round and I only have 1 knockdown on him, I gotta just go for the kibosh.
It seems like it's loose.
Yeah.
But it's still boxing rules.
They try to keep it as sanctioned as possible for people that literally have zero. And I've watched lot of their videos for safety. Yeah. They suggest that you don't slam them and everything, but they're not going to DQ you unless you really headbutt the hell out of someone and knock them straight out, or low blow them or something like that.
So the West Virginia Athletic Commission does know about this.
I guess we'll see. I'm gonna try to give him a little color though.
Yeah.
Hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
Red equals green.
Red equals green, baby.
Who's cornering you?
So I have a few people.
I saw this one. I saw one of the threads.
You saw. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is that just for the sake of the pressure, you have to tune in. You can either be there live, or you can go to buyrnr.com and get the pay-per-view tickets. Tickets start at $25, I think. Live in person is roughly around the same for the pay-per-view. All I know is that I am calling a couple of pro wrestling people out of the jungle to come down to the ring. So, and there's a few different group chats that's going around that involve different pro wrestling people. But I do know one person that hopefully they're going to be bringing the hammer with.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Sorg knows what I'm talking about.
It's gonna be a great night for
it's gonna be crazy.
Feel it.
It's gonna be crazy. And honestly, and in all respect, this is really. I've said this with a lot of wrestling events. I swear to God, this is the only time that I really wish that Virgil was still around. I swear on everything, I would put on 401k on that. And he'd be like, listen, nephew, you just throw your dick at him. Like that's probably what he would say. But I don't know if I would go
Those
that far.
training vignettes would have been amazing.
No, they would have been great.
They did training vignettes in like PWO, I think, right?
Yeah.
When Dombrowski was running up there, right? So I think it was with Gregory Iron or something, and Homeless Jimmy.
But they're doing the handicap heroes.
Yeah, handicap heroes. Yeah. So no. It was. I think it was still. Maybe it still was because it was Gregory Iron and the homeless guy. But anyways, great. I love this. Cool. Wait, who do you think Burger Boy is going to bring with him?
I was gonna thank Kel and just have him dress up as the Good Burger
that'd be great.
cashier. But I think he's stupid. I think he's going to come to the ring by himself, and that's going to be very, very bad.
Oh
Oh,
no. So
no.
we have a question up there in the corner. Would you box the Rev for our question of the week here? And somebody answered. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Dave Ponder's in the chat room.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And he says the answer to the question, would I box Rev? My question is how much money?
You guys are going to like turn me into like the Pittsburgh Indy like Kimbo Slice. You're going to have me go in the backyards, just beer
I
fist.
mean, if this
God,
goes well, or you just
start
gonna
streaming that stuff.
Just
picking
start.
fights with random
Yeah,
people,
I'll give it right to
Backyards
Sorg
of
for the
Western.
page.
I mean, if this goes well, are you calling people out for boxing matches
So-
here in the
so
future?
if-
Or
I will tell you this. My goal is yes. I mean, this is very much as legit gets, and I know he's going to come in and he's going to try to make a name for himself. So I do got to come in. I got to try to eliminate the threat. I got a total of 3 minutes to do it.
yeah.
However, at the same time, my end goal is I want to be able to take this over for Rough and Rowdy just as pro wrestling and be on every single card. And it starts here. It's the biggest impression. So I would tell you all new ring attire. You're going to see me come to the ring in a way that I've never come to the ring in all of pro wrestling.
And this is Barstool Sports, so this is a pretty good, pretty big.
And we're sponsored by
platform.
Four Loco.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it might be on the Magic
Can
graphic.
we just have you guys like down for Loco before you roll out there? And I
sure
mean,
hope so.
It's just kind of like how they hop up everybody with C4 before WrestleMania and SummerSlam, right?
That's right.
So I will tell you I'm planning, but you got to inspect it. You got to expect the impossible. I'm gonna give respect to my opponent.
Okay.
That if there is at least one knockdown,
Yeah.
I envision that someone like drowns me in Four Loco, and then I rise up like the Undertaker. I've had all these thoughts. So I have no idea how this is going to go, but I am excited about it, man. It's
So
crazy, bro.
Tina's out there, says her insurance paid up, so she may take you on.
Okay, all right. Well, listen. You pick the time and place. My first fight outside of a ring will be in a Chick-fil-A parking lot.
Okay. What?
Yes.
On a Sunday? Or
Yeah.
On a Sunday because nobody's there, right?
No. On a Sunday because we need capacity for the crowd.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. No cars will be in the lot.
That's right.
So it's gonna happen. We're not gonna eat the Lord's chicken, but we're gonna fist fight in Chick-fil-A parking lot. So Tina, you're on.
Rev, what do you think about this? This just gets my wheels turning. I start thinking about would you ever consider doing the shoot fight pro wrestling double on the same day, kind of like how some of the race car drivers try to do the Indy 500 the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 on the same day? It has been done. Would you ever consider doing, boxing match in West Virginia and then drive into Western Pennsylvania and have a pro wrestling match the same day?
I thought he was
night.
because
You really thought I was,
thought
though.
this was on Saturday, and I saw you were on the Enjoy poster for Saturday, and I'm
You
like,
said, how the hell
are
is he gonna
you
do this?
double? Are you double booking
Are
on
you running the double? Yeah.
Because he runs the double. Sometimes I think I've seen you run a triple.
I've tripled before.
You've tripled.
I've definitely tripled before.
My God. And I'm just like, how are you doing this with boxing? That doesn't make any sense.
Listen, the only way that I will do that is if they allow me to do it in my full wrestling gimmick, like tights, boots, and all.
Like you gotta just show up.
In the
I
boxing
just,
ring, yeah.
I just show up,
And
the
then,
same
and
entrance.
then, and then you're like Balrog from Street Fighter. I was like, I had to wrestle in my gloves, and then
Okay, I barely made it. All right, let's go.
all right, let's go. He's wearing a championship belt, or whatever.
Still in
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
silk robe.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not double, but I would. I like to try everything at least once. So to dabble, I would double book boxing and then wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I'll take it up the next level. Then I will double book boxing. So I would do Rough and Rowdy, and then hopefully that same night, later in the night, that there's a tough man.
Yeah.
And then I do the tough man.
Yeah, the
But
same
the-
night.
But then there's another thing that I just found out. I was talking to someone. There's something called car jujitsu, and there's competitions. So eventually I might.
Wait. What is it?
It's car jujitsu, and there's actual competitions of like U.S. versus Russia. It was originated in Russia. I promise you. I just found this out
We're gonna
yesterday.
find out about this here. We got Google.
Yes, and they both start with their seatbelts on.
It's highly technical.
It's like the fight scene from Deadpool. Okay.
But it's real.
Yes. So they're doing jujitsu in a car.
In a car. And it's
Holy
like,
hell.
it all goes. Like, they wait. They got an aerial camera. The referee turns the headlight on. So you have a light that shines in the car.
This is amazing.
And they blow the whistle, and there's a clock. And they have names for the holds.
I'm subscribing to the channel right now.
See?
Car Jiu-Jitsu Championship on YouTube. Oh,
So
man.
so three things. So this is the unorthodox. I will tell you this. There's been three things that have helped me outside of physically training for Rough and Rowdy. Car Jiu-Jitsu, the World Tag Team, not the World Tag Team, the World was it the World Tag Chase Championships or something?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, which I love. And then slap boxing. So I think all of this mentality all in one.
The slap competition that like
Yes,
UFC
that you hold
side
the-
project is. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the this is going way back. Have you ever seen the shoot MMA handicap matches that they were running in Mexico for one of these things?
I just saw one pop
you
up.
see
That was
this
I
one?
saw another one that was a boxing battle royal too.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
yeah.
All right, there we go.
There was a
That-
4-on-1.
That's my lane.
That's
my
your lane.
I'll find the video for you. There was a 4-on-1 MMA fight in Mexico. It was the best handicap match I've ever seen in my life.
Here's what I want to do, and Rough and Rowdy, I'm going to give this to you directly. All right. After this match, I want to be the first fighter to introduce a tag team boxing match strictly at Rough and Rowdy. Let's make it happen.
I can't I think the commission's gonna shut that down. I'm pretty sure you can't do that in America.
You know what? You ask permission later, Sorg.
I think
better
they're
to
called-
ask forgiveness
You
later
said I can't
than
do
to
it in
ask
America?
permission now.
I don't-
Ask
I feel like
forgiveness
that's a
later.
commission
my whole
problem.
career has been asking for forgiveness.
Asking forgiveness later instead of asking for permission now, Sorg. That's what we're looking for.
I asked Phil Bad for forgiveness when I broke his wooden table that was like $700 during
Yeah,
a
so
brawl.
I'm really sorry about that. Now, if you would have said, Dr. Feelbad, may I double suplex
To be fair,
buddy here
no.
onto your snack
Nobody-
table, he would have said, no, don't do that.
Nobody thought it was breakable.
I in
Like,
all
you know
respect,
how many suplexes have been on those tables
Yes.
over the years?
I remember they were like, I don't think we should just. Don't worry, it won't break. I was like,
But the
ooh.
problem was, I think it was like you did a double suplex, I believe. So
Yeah,
there were
it was
three.
me and AJ on Jordan Styles.
Yeah. I think like typically it's like two people, and I think the third person was the and it didn't even like break.
It did
It
break.
just- this was like-
It just.
I mean, it was
yeah,
ruined.
It buckled. It's like this thick. Like it's just. Imagine if you had like your grandma had like a thick oak like dining room table or
That's
something.
very much how I
that
feel.
their great grandfather probably fucking carved themselves
It,
Yeah.
out
it
of a
felt
redwood
like
tree.
it felt like an OG like wooden communion table.
Yeah.
That's
The
what it
entire
felt
like
Way to
the-
bring it back around to the.
the entire West Newton Gymnasium is populated by tables that refuse to break.
Yeah.
Like that's very well known.
Yep.
There's nothing will break.
No bone like that anymore.
I've seen more clips of tables not breaking than tables actually breaking from
I
that
mean,
arena, I think.
these tables are fed up with all of us.
Yeah.
They're
What happens when you head out into the country? You're gonna find some Brazilian tables.
They're fighting back.
yeah.
There you go. Rev Ron Hunt, Rough and Rowdy, this Friday, Barstool Sports pay-per-view. He's gonna
Ford logo.
put away a Burger Boy.
Oh yeah, you know what? I wrestled Cheeseburger. Now I'm fighting Burger Boy.
Hey, there you go.
I'm just
There you
saying.
go. Oh my God, Cheeseburger should come
Oh,
out
that-
with you.
Oh man. that'd be
Bro,
nice.
if I next time.
Next
I mean,
time.
all
Next
that's
time.
left
If
for
they
you, Rev.
What'd you
is
say?
all that's left for you, Rev, is to fight Burger Bear from Kaiju Big Battle.
Ooh.
Or fight an
They're
actual
coming
bear.
down. They're coming to town, or an actual bear. Yeah.
I would do both in a
Yeah.
triple threat.
Now is the bear Max the Impaler dressed as a bear like that happened at WrestleMania a couple years ago?
I want like an actual full-fledged bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just gonna go all the way with this.
We used to do that all the time. Till the athletic
What do you mean
commission
we?
started getting involved.
You know,
mankind,
back in-
humankind, we used to do this.
Back in Matt's day,
Back in my day.
he used to wrestle a bear uphill
No,
both
no,
ways.
No. It wasn't back in my day. It was before my time. But I heard.
You heard, yeah.
I
That's right.
heard that
Who was that? Bucky.
you weren't a real wrestler until you wrestled a bear. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I just talked to like some random old lady. I swear it was every bit of a Pittsburgh story that I randomly saw in like Oakland or something. That was like we were talking about wrestling. Found out I was a wrestler, and she told me that Bruno Sammartino would wrestle bears.
I was
on an
going to
occasional
say
basis.
she probably was like Dominic DeNucci wrestled a bear.
She's like, you're a wrestler. Do you
up
know
at the
Bruno?
Syria Mosque back in 1960.
He used to wrestle a bear. Do you wrestle bears? No, ma'am, I don't.
You should wrestle a bear.
Yeah, you should
They've got
wrestle
them
a
at
bear.
the zoo. You should get some.
Eat some kibasi before for good luck.
Well, this has to be a Felix Cause thing. Let's be honest. I love because we encountered this just last week in New Kensington. I love because you remind me of something. People of a certain age that are about wrestling refer to it as studio wrestling. Oh, you're one of them studio wrestlers, aren't you? Right? Like you probably get that, especially at KSWA.
you do that studio. Right.
Do you remember when it was on WIIC Channel 11? Yeah, no, ma'am.
Yes, of course we do. We all remember.
Were you sharing that that table comment?
Yeah.
All right, I'll share that. Tina's asking.
It's one you just have to. If I would read it to Rev, it would not have landed. He had to be shown it.
All right,
It was
Tina's
great.
asking Southern Baptist or AME church communion table.
I would say Southern Baptist.
Clarification.
You know, it had no give to it, and it was unforgiving.
Yo, Southern Baptists go hard, don't they?
Yeah, man, that good old oak tree, man.
I love the vibe, though. Love the vibe. I got to attend one time. That was good.
They got you amped up, didn't they?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, just a bunch of white Presbyterians coming into a Southern Baptist. You know how that went. So
First of all, big shout out. Now that I'm thinking about it, big shout out to my pastor at Braddock, because anytime that I win a title, he tells the media team that I help it. He's like, all right, I want a picture of him with the title on the screen, so then we can. And he'll be like, all right, let's give it up. And then every time he tells me, he said, give him about another month of exercise, and he wants to eventually do like an elbow drop off of something. So I'm trying to convince him into doing
like during the sermon or something.
according to him, that's what he said.
Man, I gotta start coming.
They gonna stream this
I
or
wanna
what?
I want to go to your church.
We're gonna get him in. So I was like, listen, we can run a wrestling show like outside in the parking lot.
Why
like,
not, man? We know
Wrestling
people,
shows
right?
on church property are great. Those need to happen more often.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a great venue picked out, Sorg.
I got a great venue here in the neighborhood, but I know they'll never let it happen. So I'm so sad.
the last time,
Rev, I'm gonna send you to go talk to him.
the last time that I did wrestle at a it was like the recreational center of a church in New Canaan, and the ST. you know this. The last time I wrestled at any type of church function, I accidentally broke the cross for their Easter play.
What?
Oh no!
On the Irish whip reversal. Yes. It actually historically, I'm mad. It was Victor Benjamin's first match ever in pro wrestling.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
What a sign of things to come there.
Yes. It was him, Joey P, Joey Diamonds, he went by then, Joey P versus the STDs. And it was supposed to be a falls count anywhere match.
Uh-huh.
And the owner of the company, Joe Rogers, said, I got it. Let's make it a new Kensington street fight match. And the crowd just goes crazy. And it has been known even till today. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. And it has been known today as like the historic New Kensington street fight match. But yes, I did break their cross. We put a hole in their wall. And I busted my big toe off of one of those artificial trees because I stuck it in front of one of the dude's nuts, and I kicked the heck out of it. And I'm thinking it had like one of those soft cushions in the basket. No, it was a straight concrete slab in the bottom.
Damn.
And I felt my toe, and then that's how I know there was like blood in my boots. But that was the last time that I wrestled at a church like function. But we will not break crosses.
Let's make it happen again.
Yeah, we should definitely do it again.
So my favorite thing was Elias when he was Heavy Metal Jesus hitting somebody with a cross off of the casket. At a VOW show. Anyways, guys, hey Rev, thank you so much. We're gonna come back and have some more conversation about ear cameras and then find out what we learned. In the meantime, we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For mercy, you are alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
We are back. We were having way too much fun talking about knife play. The Rev Ron Hunt is here.
Yes, sir.
Rough and Rowdy this Friday.
First you wanted Sunday, you want Saturday to
Friday. You know.
Friday, rough and rowdy. Come get rough and rowdy.
So everybody kept messaging me about this. WWE, as we know, has been really experimenting over the last while here with new camera angles, things like that. There's that the walk around the outside one that I hate. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I always feel like that one's definitely triggering you, Sorg, whenever you're walking around. I'm like, Sorg would never let me do that.
Why were they do? Yeah, guys, it's like this is everything I tell everybody not to do.
If I would do that during a show, Sorg would be like, don't do that.
I really hope if I've done my job properly, I hope that everybody that's worked under me over the last several years that watches Raw or SmackDown when they pull that shot out, And this is the one where they start on the one side, all the cameramen kind of back away, and it's the Steadicam guy, and he's not going up to the ring. He's just kind of like floating around the entire front portion of the ring, and it's like a full minute at least. It feels like an eternity that they do this thing. A lot of times coming back from a commercial break or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I really hope just everybody sitting at home that has worked with me in their ear is just saying, just yelling, "Get the rope out of the shot!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
Get up!
I hear your voice whenever they
Yeah,
show that
I hear
shot.
you yelling at me. doing that, so-
You're like, I'm not
Yeah,
even
with that,
filming.
tighten up, tighten up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riz just takes a shower and he just faintly hears you. Get the soap out the shot.
Yeah. I start
Just in
sobbing.
the corner.
Yes, that's when I know I've let people know. Anyways,
You want to do your Okada real quick for Sorg? Real quick? I'm so happy. There you go.
Thank you for that. Oh God, we haven't even talked about
I
it.
only get that like 3 times a day. So.
Anyways, so everybody messaged me when like we saw like the quick shot. It looks like they messed up the first like shot of this in the first match, and we're like, what the fuck was that? Oh my God, they have a ref mic.
It was
I couldn't figure out where it was
it was weird
because we couldn't see, and obviously you guys were messaging us from the pay-per-view party, and like from the screens and stuff, we can't tell the guy's got something on his ear.
Oh yeah, complete surprise to
and
me. Yeah.
and until we like saw him cut the shots, I'm like, what the hell is this stuff, right? And it looks like they're having some problems, like he was touching it, getting in the way, whatever the case
Well,
may be.
it wasn't.
like-
it wasn't that. It was the first shot was I believe was supposed to be like a shot of the wrestlers,
Yeah.
and he's looking over here,
Yeah.
like towards the crowd, and like and sometimes he's looking at the floor, and all of a sudden he moves over and looks at the wrestlers. But first of all, that is just dizzying, and second of all, they cut away right when he gets to it.
So I mean, I can understand the like, and I didn't realize it was on his head, right? It was like it's an earpiece, basically.
yeah.
And it may even be connected in with the audio earpiece. Is the only thing I haven't looked back at the footage
Didn't
to see what it
Seth's
looks
come
like.
out?
Did it?
Or
Seth's
something came
and he
out.
threw it.
And he just grabbed it, balled it up, and threw it.
Yeah, he just
That
threw
might
it
be.
away.
Maybe he's just like, I'm done with this shit, But I can understand, like. You're a referee. You have your job. I think if you're a referee, you have like 3 jobs to do, right? Out there, especially for a WWE production. You got people in your ear. You got to do this. You got to check out the wrestlers, communicate, all this kind of stuff. And like the last thing you're thinking about is, and now I'm also a cameraman, right? So even if there's something in his ear, it says, Mark, we're going to come to you, and then and then something happens and you react. You just caught it in the moment.
Yeah.
He's not sitting there holding the camera. He's doing his job. Right, and now he needs to concentrate in a different way, and that's just it's a different muscle, I think. And it worked really well for Seth. But even the things that they caught, I love when they caught the picture of angry CM Punk, and somebody said POV of Jack Perry. So
That's brilliant.
But and I'm trying to find the link because I think you guys sent me. Was that in Slack that you guys sent me that? Oh, here it is. Apparently they sell these at Walmart.
$70.
It's $80 for this
70.
thing.
That's
$70?
all?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to tie into my system. Like I mean, we could do something like this with a GoPro. So you
Definitely.
could get a 30. Yeah, now every indie company is going to try this.
Oh,
You know that.
oh,
Especially it's
somebody
only
I
$70.
probably
mean,
already has one.
this is one of those things that has to be attempted every 5 to 10 years
Mm-hmm.
in pro wrestling. They've done this before. And the only problem is that when they tried it like 5 to 10 years ago, the technology was such that you had this huge like helmet thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's wearing like a hockey helmet with a camera on top, and it was kind of like, you know what? If it was just a little bit smaller, maybe we wouldn't be able to notice. You know?
No,
now
I
we've
think
got
like
it to
one
the
of the
point
things
where
that got innovative was like when they first started putting the like the cameras in the turnbuckles.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like
yeah,
that.
they still have. I think they still have
So
those.
I think
don't use them much,
they
though.
pulled those AEW. They don't have them on anymore.
No.
Because they did they don't have those units on top. I haven't seen them do the shots or anything like that. So
I thought they had the hole. They had the holes in them.
are they holes in it now?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they
maybe
put it
that's it.
like full fledged in the.
Oh, well, what AEW or WWE? Because WWE has room to
WWE.
do
I
that.
think it's
Okay, that
WWE.
makes sense.
Like I
Because
saw it. I saw it
was-
at SummerSlam.
They made those poles so large that like I was thinking about this when Drew McIntyre came out. Like
You
you
can
no
hide it.
longer know where the fireworks are coming from. You're like, remember there's always that like, ooh, Kane's on this show.
They put the little pyro caps on it.
Yeah. You, like,
And then
you
now
see
you're
that
like, the
thing
whole
on the
thing's gonna
side or something like that, and now it's just like, oh, we can just build stuff into this, you know.
I want someone, and they have the money to. I want one of the technicians to build what they would do for like the concerts, like bring Michael Jackson him out of the stage. I want to see someone rise out of the turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Undertaker for next Mania.
Let's do it. Hologram Undertaker.
Just have him just come out.
Hologram
the
Undertaker, just like popping out every, like a whack-a-mole, you know, just popping up.
Did you just
response?
Did you just call Taker a whack-a-mole?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I absolutely did. Hey, did you see? I think this was during SummerSlam, but I can't remember which match because they did a person crashes into the ring post spot in every single match on that show. But there was one of them where, like, the cameraman was up on the ring apron. You don't see that very often. That was like a classic WCW
I was thinking
camera
that too.
shot.
I was thinking
and
that
he was
too.
up there, and like it came right through and like quickly the cameraman like.
I was
bounces down.
impressed because he got caught there and he got down, and I'm watching the shot. He got down, they stayed on him, and he kept that thing steady.
I know, it did.
I was so
great.
impressed with that. I mean, it's a little easier with those big cameras, like mounted on your shoulder, probably, but like that still takes a little bit of skill and finesse to be able to do that. I was really appreciative.
Like, oh, you've done this before.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking about the band. Eventually, I watched the last episode of WCW, and I appreciate there was a lot of like talking to like the production people there. And this is kind of stuff, and this is why I realize I'm never going to find myself in a wrestling big company because those people have been there for 20 years, right? They started as gaffers 20 years ago, and that's just how you get in probably. But also, like, they're a well-oiled machine, you know? Like, you see the same camera people now at AEW that you saw the first episode, right? So, like, and that's, I mean, I think that's what we try to cultivate, too, is that little, like, you know, vibe, and everybody knows where to move, and it's kind of like a concert kind of thing, you know? That's why it's always weird when we throw somebody else in there and just, like...
kind of mess up the flow
mess
organically.
up the flow. Like I have to... direct people more to what we want, you know, for the show if they're a drop in, you know, like I find this a lot on MMA shows. Like we'll get random people and it's like, okay, I got to figure out how to, like, and you don't get much time with them. So, cause you're wrapping everything up, you're just like, okay, I got to figure out how to communicate with these people and what they're going to respond to. And I'm going to find out when they shot moves when I'm on them in the first match. You know what I mean? Which is like the worst part. Again, these people are doing it every week. You know, that's why I love doing that Thursday show. We get reps. We get reps and we run into mistakes and you know, build people up that way. And try new things and try it there before we're on a big stage. So, you know, just had a couple of things come like, hey, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, we can do this. I know exactly who I'm going to hire for it because we've been doing it every week, you know, like things like that. You know, it builds confidence but yeah, and thinking about that and how hard that was when WCW closed, because it's like, this guy's been a cameraman for 20 years.
Like, what the hell?
You know, 10, 15 years at WCW. Like, it's not only places to go with that skill set. Yeah. You know, it's very specific to be able to do that, right? You know, I've always heard about like, oh, they brought like a production team in that's never done wrestling before, and hey, they got a truck outside, but you noticed. It's a whole different thing. If you don't get it, I've watched people like, why is this guy like 3 feet from the ring shooting this thing? That fucking shot, you know, that we talked about.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like certain companies, when I've heard them even lose people, and they're like, well, so and so they said. I was like, listen, this is something completely different. It's just so completely different.
It's like, I mean, how long do you think I've been shooting wrestling shows for you, Sorg?
We can find out.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. We've been at this for years, and like, I'm still like, when I'm shooting wrestling shows, like having moments where I'm just like, where do I want to be? Like, what gap in the ropes should I be shooting through? And there's just like, there's like an infinite number of situations in pro wrestling that you could find yourself in that you need to figure out, you know, what's the best, you know, way to approach this.
And sometimes it's
different. Some things I've gotten, you know, a lot better at, you know,
but sometimes
figuring stuff out. But then you've got other people, like you bring up somebody who's like never watched wrestling before. And I've told you this story before where I was like, I was shooting some indie show. You weren't there. This was years ago. This was like up in Erie. And I'm out there with a camera, just shooting some footage, and there's another person there shooting footage, but this other person was not familiar with the tropes of pro wrestling. So things spill out onto the floor, and this doofus stands right in front of the ring post, and I'm standing there like, they're totally throwing him into the ring post.
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of the way.
He's
like,
thinking, well, if something comes, the ring post is going to save.
I'm like, have you never seen wrestling? Don't you know what's going to happen? Like, that's my brain is screaming at me. And then, like, sure enough, they Irish whip him right into the ring post. And this dude is there. And the poor wrestler just had to, like, evade and fall over. Like, he just had to make it work. And, and it was just like, that's obviously an extreme example. Yes.
It's like this.
Exactly.
Did he take a bump?
That's an extreme example. But yeah, but it happens, on the shows that we do too.
I almost did a suicide dive on a camera person before. Because
that's to be expected.
They didn't know it, and they didn't know, like, hey, if a guy's on the floor and you see me doing this,
you want to fuck
that means don't be at 12 o'clock like this.
Well,
go down.
I do people, and they want to be right in the middle. And I was like,
you
that
can be
is
in the middle.
and I'm like, that is the most dangerous place for you to be, because what if he decides to clothesline him over? They're not looking for you, and now you're in ground zero.
So the biggest thing with me, from a media background, I can give a damn about the people. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to hurt the equipment.
Exactly.
So
that
you guys are always safe
when you have, and we're very fortunate, but but when you have, like, oh, this guy's coming in with his high-end cinematography camera, it was like something broke, who's paying for it?
Yeah.
That's a very awkward conversation on pro wrestling, knowing what everybody gets paid.
Sir, you just dropped the mic in a promo that wasn't even that much of a pipe bomb.
Listen, I've seen some. I know. We just saw some audio guys walk away for the wrong reasons, but we saw audio guys walk away for the right reasons too when their stuff was being disrespected. So, by the way, I just edited that show this week.
That's funny that you talk about, like, you're worried about the equipment, and I'm out there with the equipment, worried about you and the other wrestlers, because I'm worried like, which wrestler am I gonna, like, trip up with the cable and
it's like
cause
we don't want to be responsible for you getting
all
hurt.
we're doing is just like worrying about each other while this whole show is happening all around us. Yeah, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm just kind of like, I try not to think about the cable as much anymore. My brain has convinced myself, these people are professionals. They can avoid the cable. As long as I don't make any sudden movements.
You just jinxed yourself.
As long as they don't make any sudden movements, no one's going to get hurt. It'll be fine.
Well, even if they do, like, half the time it's the heel that trips over it, and they yell at you.
Right.
If you're
lucky, if you're fortunate enough to shoot a lumberjack match, maybe you'll get to enjoy the turning around behind you and finding Dennis Gregory working your cable behind you, wrapping it up for you. You're just like, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
I love it.
He said over under.
Yes.
I forget who else was over there.
Did they teach him that in the Air Force?
I don't know. I'm like, what's happening? Something's happening. Like, I feel like the cable's moving. I turn around, and Dennis is just like, I'm like, what the hell's happening here? Like, what are you doing?
He's like,
Anyway,
hey, bud, want to save your cable?
Well, I was just like, I think I had to have a conversation. I think Ashley had done RWA for the first time, and like, there was a cable issue, or she didn't know where to stand, and like, I think that's like J-Rock is like, move out of the way, bitch, or something.
Yeah.
I was like, we're good. She's like, yeah, I know, it's his fucking deal. You're like, okay,
Well, good thing he didn't work that DJ, but
What?
Well, we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk about it
No,
on Patreon.
that's cool.
Maybe we'll talk about that on Patreon. We've already talked a lot about on Patreon, but I don't know. Red's the one that got music that day.
one of the only.
Anyways, not get into that. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Hey, support our friends at Slice on Broadway. We're giving them some love here earlier today, and Mason loves pointing at the graphics, helping feed our guests here in the evening. So thank you so much to Slice on Broadway, helping the Rev carb up for Rough and Rowdy. Yeah! Thank you so much to them. Check them out, slicedonbroadway.com, multiple locations around the city. I think Riz has been to almost every one of them.
Almost.
There
Swing
you
on
go.
up to Beachview and check out Tim's General Store while you're
There you
up
go.
there, too.
Tim's Corner Store, yeah. yeah.
Tim's Corner Store.
Good sandwiches, really good sandwiches.
Have you been there to get yourself a sandwich? lately?
I've been there, and I've had them delivered to me. I think we Grubhubbed them.
Where are
one time.
they at? Right here?
Right by the original Slice on Broadway, up the street here. There's a corner market there now, and you can get your convenience store needs, and plus some really good sandwiches. So
I like it.
I don't know who Tim is, because I know Rico owns the place.
The Tool Man.
Yeah, there you go. It's time to find out what you learned from wrestling this week. Who would like to go first?
Mason.
Mason, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
SummerSlam was awesome.
Okay. Yes, it was. Matt, what'd you learn?
It's a heck of a lot of fun to take your child to his very first huge stadium show.
That was.
Especially when you realize
Wow.
that me as a wrestling fan didn't go to a huge stadium show until I was like an adult, like a real adult, like a super adult.
Yeah.
And I'm taking, and then I'm like, this little brat gets to go, like, no problem. But you know what? I don't recall
You know
them
what,
ever
though?
bringing a big stadium. They do more stadium shows now than they've ever done
Yeah.
before.
I was going to
so
say, when you
more
were at his
opportunities.
age, there was one stadium show.
It was
were- and
WrestleMania.
even then-
WrestleMania
That was
3.
it.
Even then, if
Like,
you were lucky, they
there
were
was
doing
one-
Mania in the arenas
Yeah,
back
it
in
was
the day.
one
yeah.
in 1987 and one WrestleMania 8, right?
Because you darn sure wasn't
And
getting
then
SummerSlam or
WrestleMania
anything like
9.
that.
No.
WrestleMania 9 was in a parking lot in Las Vegas, Riz.
That's right. Well, Vegas.
But it wasn't Vegas.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
It was a dark time.
It was a dark time.
It was the mafia times in there.
Oh, was it?
And I also learned that if you want to be up right against the barricade for the kickoff show, before the big pay-per-view, you got to show up early. All right, and you got to be ready to stand in the sun for like 2 hours. So it helps if you're a young child and not a grown-up who hides under a tree in the shade.
And thank you, tree shadiness.
And I'm just
outside
like,
of that.
he's up there. Don't worry. Big E and Byron Saxton are watching my son. I'm back here. It's all good.
I got eyes on him.
I got eyes. He's up there somewhere. I did like see your little head pop up every once in a while. You kind of like pop up.
He's like, he's still
I
there.
was looking for you.
I know, and I was back there going, "You're doing great."
I was thinking how many people were like behind me.
Yeah, like
You know
all
what?
the people were behind you.
I appreciate that. You're allowed your child to be out of sight. You know, I grew up where I wasn't allowed to leave the driveway. So
That's because you grew up without Big E in your life.
I had no biggie in my life.
Yeah.
I lived in the country.
He was safe.
And I wasn't allowed to leave
Did
my
you- did you
driveway on a
see
dirt
that-
road.
Did you see that pre-show panel? He was safe. Big E, Wade Barrett. I mean, he was in good hands.
Good.
He was in good hands.
I learned that I love signs. I don't have the video thing up, but I love this. Jacob looks like he bit people in preschool. Was one. Mostly people I found outside. What was the other one I saw? Drew pours the milk before cereal.
Wow, that's a
Oh, that's not too controversial, is it?
It is. It is.
Some
I'm
circles,
sorry. No,
yeah.
it is.
Wait. I got one too. I got to tell you about that I saw.
Okay.
This was by far the most controversial sign I saw. Def Rebel greater than Taylor Swift was the sign I saw.
Get out of here.
And this dude was serious. He was like parading around with this thing for like half an hour. Like he was really trying to send a message.
And he just made that in his car right before he came in.
You know what? They had a little area where you could kind of like just make
Yeah,
signs.
they had a sign make.
So
spot.
people were just like, all sorts of random signs were showing up.
I would hate to be security checking as well.
Oh yeah, and this fellow had a Joe Hendry sign at SummerSlam. And you know what? We saw as much Joe Hendry as we saw Jey Uso at SummerSlam. So
Like I felt like SummerSlam last year was the year of the
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just echoing through all the
That's true.
crowds. That's when it was coming up, and I heard less of it this year. I heard more yeets. It was a mix. It wasn't as
yeet.
finally. Yeah, there you go. It wasn't as finally like this is the thing that's happening. Last year was just all yes.
So how much over would it be with him and Jay as a tag team?
What?
Yeah.
L.A. Knight.
The Yeet, yeah.
Yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet,
That'd be good. That'd be good.
yeet, yeah. I mean, that will definitely. There's 100% chance of that happening.
Absolutely,
at some
that's
point in the
happening somewhere.
future.
If they end up on the same show, they'll at least one promo out of this, if not a short run. So, Rev, what'd you learn from wrestling recently?
When in doubt, pull a knife out.
And you can find out what that's about at RWA Resurrection on IndieWrestling.us. Holy shit!
Don't know what the stipulation was because you blacked out for a few minutes.
Yeah, I gotta black
Pull out
out.
a knife.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Protect yourself at all times.
This is the revolving stipulations every 10 minutes?
5
It was actually every 5.
5 minutes.
It was good. I liked it.
Okay, start with First Blood. Walk me through this
Yeah.
real quick. So because I haven't seen this yet. So
the first stipulation was first blood. So for those who don't know, you had to draw blood out of your opponent. It was a triple threat.
which is fun because one of you guys
three of
was
us.
wearing a mask.
Yeah, how is that?
Strangely enough, he was the closest one to bleed.
He was the closest one. Yeah.
and then the second was a tables match, which right at 0 seconds, Mike Law went through a table, and the ref. It was like to a second, and the ref said, "No, that's after the stipulation changed," and the crowd lost it. And then then the third was a street fight, and then I think it went right into that. So technically, it changed. There was 4 stipulations total by the time there was a winner for the whole overall thing. But I mean, when you start as a first blood, there's no rules. And the last time I checked, a lot of, DOA bodies, they bleed. So I used a foreign object.
I mean, the object of the match is to draw blood.
So
there are no rules.
So
I mean, last time I checked, knives pretty good at causing blood.
Thank you.
So I mean, good strategy.
Listen, my thing. At what point does it? Because I heard the crowd go, "Oh."
Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Like, at what point do we deem a weapon, oh, this is just too much in the first blood? I've had fans bring the weapons matches where fans have brought a whole baked cake with thumbtacks in it. They said, you like the icing? There's thumbtacks in it. You got people breaking boards with mouse traps, but I can't use a knife.
Yeah.
I still remember the guy walking around outside. They wouldn't let him bring the whole katana sword in.
They had security at the door that would check the weapons.
Yep.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I've seen baseball bats with barbed wire wrapped around them. I've seen razor
I've seen
wire
baseball
and stuff
bats
like
with
that.
explosives on them.
I've seen spikes. We've seen spikes.
Yep.
Right.
I've seen
Like
pumpkins with
forks. Like
thumbtacks
what?
in
Like
it.
how? Sorg, honestly, tell me. Like fork and knife. Like how far removed are those?
Exactly.
They're like weaponary cousins. They're basically in the same food group of weapons. I don't see a difference.
And
if
this
you would
is
have
why
pulled a
Matt's my
spoon,
attorney.
no one bats an eye, but he pulls a knife. So I mean, knife, fork,
There's
spoon. Who cares?
There's a lot of people that are real knifeists out here. They don't like those.
I'm surprised Wes Newton has that many people in it that doesn't like that. I was like, oh.
I was surprised that was somehow too violent for Wes Newton.
No, that's because they we know what kind of night in West Newton this is going to be.
Yeah.
Riz, did you say what you learned yet?
No.
What did you learn?
I learned that I really, really am happy for Eric Rowan. Out of everybody on the Wyatt Six, seeing him actually wrestle again, I was smiling when he did things in that ring on Monday.
Don't make me cry, you dickhead.
Like when he did a yeahs, it was so touching, and then I'm just kidding, but yeah, it was just one of those things. I personally didn't think he would come back to wrestling, but seeing him actually wrestle and doing his thing in the ring, perfect.
From the chat room.
It's so beautiful.
I'm sorry I brought everything down. It's my fault.
Oh, it's fine. I'm moving. You're good.
He's gonna get the knife.
From the chat room, where we're talking about the hot dogs for the camera costs, and are we talking Costco hot dogs? By the way, You know what really pisses off a promoter when they have their poster and their poster happens to be about a barbecue, and I repost it saying, "I bet I'll get paid in hot dogs tonight." I heard about that one. I thought I was being cute. Since
That
it
is
was a gimmick.
hilarious.
I was just like, if the people gonna think I don't pay, I'm just like, well, I mean, it's wrestling, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like it's wrestling. It's always
I
been the
mean,
hot
we
dog
know
and
what we're
handshake
doing
joke.
here.
Yeah.
It's like let them talk. And it got a lot of interaction, so I think I did something to promote the show. So I thought I was doing my job. So, but anyways, whatever. Ponder learned that the person in person at 880. Yes, Ponder got to visit 880 on Thursday to see it. And Nick's Wild will get payback for what he did to Tati, what they did to Tati. Tatiana has been injured for the last month, and Nick's is kind of an asshole now.
He used to be such a nice kid.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yes, and now there's a new belt for me to keep track of. And Tina Key says, I've learned that we should take in the stateside PLEs when we can. Because, we've had 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah, Europe and the other
Canada,
hemisphere's getting all of them.
Canada too.
Yeah, Canada too.
And Saudi Arabia. So it's going real worldwide. That's pretty. Hey, but that's a lot of space for somebody else to fill in those towns with some exciting pay-per-views and
You'd think so.
shows, right?
Yeah.
You would think.
I mean, seems to make sense to me.
Raw and Elite Wrestling.
What?
Yeah. What? Raw?
What?
Raw and Elite Wrestling.
Raw and Elite Wrestling.
Like,
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
go see some Rel tonight. It's fine.
Anyways, and oh God, what did I learn? What did I
Yeah, what did you
learn?
learn, sir?
Oh my gosh, what did I learn? It's weird to go to a Cleveland Browns stadium, so I didn't want to buy any merch because I'm like,
You thought you were a traitor.
I can't bring home a Browns colored hat. It's just,
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like
Not
I
the
really wanted to buy
Pittsburgh.
something. I was just kind of like,
I really
just
wanted
wasn't
them
feeling it.
to announce next year's SummerSlam being in Pittsburgh at that show to fuck with everybody in
don't you
Cleveland.
think that would have
That
been
would
funny?
have been amazing.
Don't you think it'd be funny in the trilogy of SummerSlams for them to be like Detroit,
Right.
Cleveland,
Mhm.
Pittsburgh, and then you have to go like another 200 miles to the southeast and into Baltimore or something like that.
Because I don't think they've announced yet, right?
I have a feeling
I
they've
don't
already
think
said
so.
that.
I think they did. Isn't it that one of the ones that's like in Indiana?
Isn't it Minneapolis? 2 nights? Minneapolis?
No, it's Minnesota.
It's-
Minnesota.
I just said.
2026 is officially announced.
He
as 2
said-
nights. Triple H did appear to confirm the changes that SummerSlam will actually take place in 2025 as two nights. Because there was like allusions like, oh, this is quite possibly the last one night SummerSlam, so they were kind of tiptoeing around that a little bit. So
Oh my God, Alex in the chat says next year's Rumble, Mania, and Chamber are all in Indianapolis next year.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No, I don't think
That's very true.
not. Well,
I know
no,
I know
that's not
2
true.
of them.
Or are they like staggering them?
Mania
over?
is Vegas.
It was the way that I think Triple
Oh
H
no,
put
it's
it.
right. It's
Because Triple
It's
H
the
did
Rumble.
talk about it during one of
Yeah.
his things.
Hmm.
Then I guess he said something was like almost like a full circle. We're gonna put it right here.
Here's the thing: we're gonna put the.
He's a,
I have to look,
So
I have to look
it's-
at it because Mania's in Vegas next year, so they're not getting that. They're confirmed Rumble, but they did not state when SummerSlam and Mania were going to be in Indianapolis.
we're gonna give
That
him,
is-
we're gonna give him all of it.
Because
Yeah,
Pat
Minneapolis.
McAfee won't leave me alone about it.
But you must go.
But anyway,
Matt and his buddies who are now playable characters on.
yeah.
Where's the Mayhem Show DLC coming?
Where's
Play as-
why is Corey not?
Who wouldn't want to play as the Riz on 2K? Who wouldn't want to play as?
Yeah, who's got
Mason?
who's making the creative characters of the Mayhem crew, right?
Yeah,
I don't get
he's making the arena.
Somebody,
Well, wait.
actually, Wheels usually makes a
Have a contest.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I need you on promotions. I need a
Yes, the
promotions
Rumble
team.
for sure next year.
Help me with these ideas. India's Rumble for sure next year. So, which is not it.
It's not too far, Sorg.
I was really weirded out by this. I should really hold it. You know what? Tell you. I'll hold on. Patreon. I'm going to tell you on Patreon what weirded me out because it's a friend thing, and you guys are probably the only ones that care. Guys, we're on Hunt all over the social media.
Thank you.
He's on Prospect Pro Wrestling. He's on RWA.
I'm on all that good stuff.
You're where else are you popping up? Enjoy Wrestling this Saturday.
Yes,
it's
this
I
Saturday.
believe it's a free show up at
It
Bottle
is.
Rocket.
So come watch our Human Demolition Derby.
Are you in that four-way?
I am not. It's going to be me versus the self-proclaimed king of Pittsburgh, MV Young. This is the first time we've been in the ring against each other in 9 years.
Holy moly.
9 years. The last time was VOW, the Columbusville Ice Mine.
Other friends of the show, Fourth Line and TME in action.
Wow. Are you kidding me? The fourth line?
Next Wild, Cowpoke Paul, Den of Desire, and the Creeps, and Demolition Derby is going to be Mikey Montgomery, Zeke Mercer, Brohemoth, Reese Hayes, Pagasa, and David Lawless. Holy shit. Go check that out. That is 4 p.m. For you guys here in Pittsburgh at the RE360 warehouse up in the Allentown neighborhood. Just go up and enjoy enjoy wrestling on social medias for information on that, on where to go. It's kind of a back alley. It's kind of a back alley situation. It's kind of where, hey, and Rev, this is the first time you've been to that venue since the last Fight Underground taping.
Very much so.
When you won that championship, you just
I knew
lost.
it was familiar. Yes, that was another show.
I think they used the same room. So yeah.
Well, this is gonna be even more exciting.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Matt Carlins and Mason Mania hanging out. Bye. Thank you for that. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.